And it is a pleasure to introduce our first two guests, which is none other than Shaun Evaristo and the legendary Kapela. So welcome to two greats that have been around and have done so much for our communities, both European and American. So I think it's epic to have these two here because obviously Kapela is representing the European side and Shaun Evaristo is such an advocate for American dance and the YouTube era. So first question for you guys is, what is your thoughts on how dance has progressed today from where you first began with it? So see where it's at today. We're going straight in. I'm going straight in. We got 30 minutes. I'm trying to make those 30 minutes count. Do you want to introduce yourself? You want to do that? We can do that. 30 minutes and 45 minutes, yes. So I want to make sure we get what we need from these topics. And yeah, I mean, would you like to introduce?
Just so you know, 30 minutes is not enough.
Okay, fair.
To be honest, we've been talking since 2 hours, easy.
Fair.
About what we're talking now. 2 hours.
Okay,
Just me and him.
fair.
So 30 minutes is not possible. I mean, in reality, let's be honest.
You got me, okay. No, you're good. I have to cook this. You can hear fine, right? We don't need it. Yeah, that's cool. How do I turn this off? Okay, but then first of all, then introduce yourselves and talk about your journey or give an insight to who you are today. Do we need mics? Oh, you're recording, so we need to use mic. Oh, because the video, no, you need to, so introduce yourself, a little bit of information, and then we'll dive into the fun topics that we need to condense into 30 minutes.
Right. My name is Shaun Evaristo, creator of Movement Lifestyle out in Los Angeles. We have a studio there, and I have been dancing for a long time. I love it. This is what I do, and happy to do it. I'll keep it short.
My name is Kapela. I'm from France, originally from Senegal. Been dancing for a long time as well. Part of the crew, One at Passy, Serial Steppers. I've been teaching, judging events, providing events, and also DJing for a while. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. Incredible. So Shaun, obviously you've created ML and it's just only reopened. How has that journey been right now of revisiting such a monumental space and bringing it back to life after obviously such a pandemic, if you will?
Yeah, so just for context, our studio closed during the pandemic. We were able to bring it back. We weren't supposed to come back. I was ready to move on to something else. I didn't know, but it came back into the fold. The community believed in us, we believed in ourselves, and we picked it all up and made it happen. So we're back. The space is wonderful. Summer is summering. So there is a lot of people that are traveling there right now. I hope you all come. I would love to see your faces there. We have a beautiful ecosystem. It's a wonderful garden of dance in all types, not in one way, as there are many ways to grow.
Well, speaking as someone that's been to ML, the second studio you opened, because you started in the smaller space and then moved on to the bigger space, what that always brought was community, especially when from my first visit to LA. I was like, this place is so beautiful, so magical because of what LA can be, and then you go to ML and you almost feel at home, especially as a European, like entering that space was so incredible. So to see you bring it back to life is so beautiful and so magical, and I hope, like Shaun was saying, like for you guys to visit it because it really is such a special space. So if you can, get out to ML as soon as you can.
Yeah, and just for context, LA is not the easiest place to thrive. It's a very harsh climate of, there's a lot of people that are auditioning and it's the industry. So it's not the easiest climate, but at ML, we try to focus on a softer landing, so that way we continually can push ourselves towards whatever goals we wish to achieve.
Of course.
Yeah.
Kapela, yourself traveling over to the stateside, what do you feel like is the difference between the American culture and the European culture as far as dance and sharing is concerned? Or is there a difference, or how is your...
Yeah, there's a difference. The difference The first difference is most of the stars are born in America. Let's say hip hop. The first dance of hip hop is breaking, and it's born in the Bronx, which is in the United States. Us, European, we learn it through videos or through some of our inspiration. Let's say my inspiration were my elders, and my elders learned from cassettes of footage, and those footage was US dancers dancing behind singers or rappers. So we get into the culture by copying what we saw from the US. So let's say we cannot say or claim we were the first. We definitely not the first. We got inspired to keep inspiring. So we have to refer always to where it come from, which is 100%. I really talk about hip hop because people would say it's come from Africa. Of course, many things come from Africa, but we have to be also factual about hip hop. It started in the US. A lot of things started in Africa due to culture traditions that was before breaking 100%, but this movement that we're doing started in America, and us European have to acknowledge this and do our work. That's what I did, doing my homework, like going there, asking questions, being interested to know what it takes to not just dance, but consider this as a lifestyle. Because today when people say this word hip hop, it's not just the dance, it's not just the beauty of the clothes, it's the whole thing. And the whole thing takes years to understand. That's why, to come back to your question about Europe and US, the difference is straight. When it's from there, go there, study, give references to understand why they're doing it for you to continue and doing it. That's why today when I'm teaching or whatever I'm doing, this question comes, I always refer to the source, which is the US first, and then us European, we came after.
Incredible, thank you. Yeah, I answered perfectly. Being obviously two mentors, obviously within the industry, not obviously, but you two have both stepped into a mentorship role, whether it was intentional or non-intentional. Was that something that you thought you were going to ever progress into when you started this journey as a dancer? Like, did you see yourself becoming who you both are today as teachers towards how dance moves now? Because Shaun, obviously you, from a YouTube era and how dance kind of changed, you were one of the first advocates of doing that, of making that change within the industry and movements for your quality. So did you ever see what you were doing to progress to what it is now and being a true teacher and mentor in that? Yeah, take your moment. Kapela, with yourself with house dance and how you dived into that and how you started learning. I know you started learning from a club environment. Did you see yourself becoming?
No, I didn't see myself because I was in the moment, living something that I had no idea. I dreamed like everybody. And like, this is me 20 years ago, 19 years old me, being with my friends, doing what we do every day, dancing, doing events, battle, and more opportunity come because I show up in different events. Not just because I want it and I just waited for them to come. Now I show up, I train, I listen, I learn, and eventually opportunity came. I didn't just wait it. And that thing of teaching grew up in me while meeting different persons. It wasn't like, I want to be a teacher. It was, I'm a dancer. I want to grow up as a dancer. I want to know as much as possible as a dancer to be a teacher. And we never just a teacher. We always a dancer teacher.
Of course.
A dancer teacher student at the same time. Yeah, because while you teach, you learn. Like today when I'm teaching, I'm learning at the same time. Not necessarily with my body, but with my mind. Like I'm learning how to read a person in that little struggle. How can I help? And how maybe this person helped me to speak better or show better. So it became what it is today naturally, but it was never the plan to be a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Incredible. And it's incredible because you've stepped into, like, you have grown into probably one of the greatest teachers of all time for our community. And as a European representative, I can speak on my side. It's incredible to see you do what you do and take it all over the world to share your passion as well as house dance, but teaching. When you teach, it is so incredible and so wonderful to learn from you because there's such a genuine passion and love behind it. And I think it's something that all of us can take away from your house. So thank you for that. Thank you.
I think there are two things for me. One is really, even at a young age, I've always loved creating. Dance happened to be the tool in where it came out. And by way of creating, it led me to my friends and family that I could share it with. So that sort of environment led me to teaching, even if it was just sharing, right? I would just get friends together and share what I made because I loved making something and seeing it in physical form. There was something about that was magical for me. And then a part of what I love it to do is just to help in ways that I can. So if there's someone that can use information that I have, that I've learned from this thing, I want to help. So these two things kind of tie in together in the education space for me, by way of just sharing something that I've gained from the exploration of my creativity. And yeah, that's how it all ties together for me. So did I see myself being a mentor? Not necessarily, but I find ways, through finding ways to help people, that led me into that path.
Okay. Incredible. Incredible. Again, with you both being involved and around the culture and evolution of dance over the years, over the decades, when you look back on it and seeing where it's at today, what is an initial thought that enters your mind of the difference between, say, the early 2000s and where we're at in the early 2020s? What is a difference in that, in whether it's teachings, dancings, class taking, event? I know. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to make a big question, but I'm also trying to like see what I can dig. So I'm doing my job. So let's just go with dance itself.
I think it's the difference. I think Shaun is going to be the same. It's obvious. The social media took over. Back in our days, it was not. Literally not. To be seen, you had to show up in places. You had to go. You had to make sure people see you. Not necessarily you want people to see you because you're great, but you got to be there. That was the only way. Also, it was, to me, more authentic and pure. What I mean is, we didn't have such as a platform that from one day is going to get you there. We didn't have. Today, you have this. You have platform from this that can get people from one movement that is 2 account, crazy, and the whole world want to do this. When versus you have people that have been doing this for years, that showing you what we call foundation basic, that have no attention. People don't watch this because it's not interesting, or it's like, nah. It's like, nah. I like this easy, but it looks too easy. Okay. To me, this is wild, to me, when I'm watching this. Not to say it's bad, it's wild in the essence of it. When I started, again, I remember how hard my teacher was on me to understand that culture that I love so much. It's like, you gotta understand that what you do, some people have died for this, literally. Like what you're doing, some people sacrifice their life for you to be here. For me to understand this, it takes years. Like, oh shit, okay. Now I'm doing something that is bigger than just moving. So that's why when I teach, I put so much heart. You can feel it. I'm not just throwing movement. I make sure people feel my heart through the words or the dance, the sweat, everything. It's real. It's not like I want like of you. I don't care about this. I care about how you feel while looking at me, giving you that energy, because that's what I felt when my teacher gave it to me. And today it's missing because everything goes fast. Today is fast food dancing. What I call fast food dancing is like kebab versus mom food. Literally. Literally. And not to say kebab is not good. Or McDonald's. Kebab is good. I like kebab. McDonald's versus mom food. Mom food takes hours. You can see it. When mom cook, like to marinate that thing, a week maybe. But then when you eat it, it's consistent. Fast food, you eat, you're still hungry. Same thing from my time to this time. So I'm not speeding up what's happening today. I'm not. Because I'm aware that it's part of the evolution. But with evolution come this. It's stable. It's either we go like this, we go down, or we go up. There is no the graphic goes like this. So I have to acknowledge this and make sure when I teach, that's what I say to Shaun. We talked about it on the way to come. When I'm teaching, I always question myself, do they really understand what I'm trying to teach? How can I make them understand the deeperness of just me showing movement? It's not about those movements. It's deeper. It's way deeper. And people come from different culture, different places. And I'm just trying to make them understand that it's not just a second minute that is going to make you blow up. It's a lifetime thing. If you invest in what you love, which is this dance, it's for the rest of your life. That's what I do. And that's why it's been that crazy, long and beautiful journey. So that's my words.
Yeah, wonderful. I just want to take a moment. Well, one, soak that in, just what he said. Let's just take a moment. I think it takes time to digest information versus just being spit at you. So, yeah, I think he gave a lot of information. Next thing I want to do is I want you to take a moment to, like, imagine you without your phones. Like, your phones didn't exist. Okay? Can you just imagine that for 1 second? Take a breath. Let it go. Cool. Your phones don't exist. Okay, now, you want to find dance. You're looking for dance. How are you going to find it? Sure. But just say that the computer doesn't exist either. In the what? The clubs, okay? Say you're a little bit young for the club. On the streets, cool. Where else? DVDs.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Okay, yes, shows. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys all one place you can find it. There's like a VHS, like a tape. Imagine all of you wanted to find dance. Say it was Kapela, but I only had one VHS tape for you to find it, but it was 2 hours away. Would you go and find it? Yeah? That was the only thing that existed. Your phones don't exist, you know? Yeah, I think for me, I feel like I kind of grew up in that space where if I wanted to find dance, I would have to drive somewhere to go get it, to find out, hey, is there a crew in that community over there? Okay, great. I'll drive over there and meet people. I don't know where I'm going to stay. I don't know I don't know anybody, but let me find out. Hey, I just met Ian. He lives here. You know? Oh, great. So, Ian, you got any tapes that you could share with me? This is a part of how I learned, like how to look where the information is, right? Driving to a location, meeting a friend, asking about dance, dancing together, finding out that there's a VHS tape, looking at that VHS tape over and over and over to look at the movement. You know what I mean?
And for that frame of maybe 15 seconds only.
Yeah.
I swear it was this VHS of this dancer dancing maybe 2/8 count, but then something else, so you got to go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
Just this, literally.
Sorry, you can say that again.
No, literally, it was this thing. You were watching this. You heard about this dancer dancing on that clip, and you want to be inspired like the others because you heard. Have you saw that tape? No, I haven't. Have you? Once you get it, you think it's a movie. It's not. It's just 10 seconds, a little section of people doing just this movement, and you want to catch it. So you watch it, and you pause it, but it's VHS. It's not DVD. It's not iPhone. It's VHS. So it's trembling. It's black and white. The quality is not crazy, but
use a pencil.
I swear.
Use the pencil to
Literally,
rewind it. Like,
literally. But you want to
Yeah.
be inspired. You like, yes, I caught it. And when you caught it, you're going back to train with friends.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just, in context, like the want for something, the desire to like find out what that is, right? Like now it's so accessible. And that's the difference, right? Is the accessibility. Now you could be X age and then see it. Oh, I can see what's in Europe. I can see what's in Asia, I can find dance like this and know what it looks and feels like, right? Maybe I get the inspiration to want to go there. It is so fast for y'all. And I think in ways it's taken for granted, you know? And I don't know, for me, I still find the magic in something so small. And I hope that you find magic in what you see today still. And know that the availability that you have it, that it just doesn't, that magic doesn't disappear, you know? Because you have so much. And I do too now. Now I have accessibility too. I don't have to go to a VHS tape no more. But we're talking about the difference in generations, right? And what the technology has sped up everything so quickly. Now that you have access, now it's like go run to all the places you can learn and grow. Because it's not just about the dance also, right? It's about how you can learn more about who you are. Like the dance is always a tool for something further, but it's up to you to question that.
Wow. Wow. I mean, kind of picking up on that, I feel like the generation that I started getting involved in dance and camps, it was like so limited. There wasn't as many camps where nowadays there is so many events that you can gain from and go to. But I remember back when, early 2010, 2011, there was only limited amount going on where we could learn from you guys, and there would only be at 2 or 3. And again, like you said, you see they're there, you run to it because that's the only accessibility to get that VHS. But now there's so many VHSs going around all the time in the culture we live in today. So like, there's so much to learn and gain, and they are here so often to learn. So make sure you take advantage of the fact that we can gain so much knowledge from these greats when they are here in our part of the world, our continent, if you will. Yes, continent? Yeah, it is continent, right? I'm not good at geography. I'm gonna open up the space. Anyone have a question for these two greats? Yes, I'm coming to you because we want to record it. Camera, you can stay here, it's fine. I will just, I can, but they want to record. Yeah. Okay, question. Tell me what you think about.
Thank you. So, firstly, thank you for sharing. Also, thank you for Movement Lifestyle, because I have been there training for 6 months and really helped me building my foundations.
Wait, sorry. What was one of your favorite classes that I want to know?
Like, where have I been taking classes?
Favorite. Which one was one of your favorite classes when you took?
Oh, Cleopatra Jones, Memphis Juking class. Yeah, she's crazy. Really good. Yeah, she's straight. So, like, recently I opened a dance studio in Brazil, and it's really inspired by Movement Lifestyle. So, yeah. Okay, I didn't expect that. Thank you. So we have many choreography classes, but mostly our foundation classes. And like, I think we struggle sometimes in trying to say to people and communicate that they have to take foundation classes because they are so important. So when I was in LA, I liked Movement Lifestyle because it was one of the only studios that really had like foundation classes of different street dance styles. And after you guys closed, I was shocked, like, damn, they are so great. And even though because of the pandemic this happened, but then you guys came back again to life. Like, I'm really happy for this. And I want you to share like 5 tips that you learned as a studio owner to share to other people that also have studios and are also trying to like build a community and interesting in people that like maybe don't want to take like foundation classes or a certain approach of classes because they don't think it's great enough.
That's like a loaded question. There's like so much jam-packed into that. I might have to break it up into different sections. Can we go with the first one? Give me the first one. Okay, that's still loaded altogether. Bringing it back to how to fortify your village is it takes a village, right? Yeah, like I have a team. I have a team that I depend and rely on, that I trust, that I have their back and they have mine. It is not about me more than it is about us. And the more that we can understand our ecosystem and how it works in that space, the better I can understand our structure, the more I can build, right? Just like dance, the more foundation you have, the more you have something to build upon, right? So just like that, within even the studio setting, we're building a strong foundation within this first year, so that way we can grow and build for a longer time frame, right? And it really comes down to people, right? I care about the people that I work with, because we all care about the dance that we love, right? And the community that we serve. So for me, when we're talking about this, everything I know about the studio comes from the dance that I learned. Does that make sense? Yes. And the more I can dive into my dance or the foundation or creation, the more I'm able to apply some of those settings into creating a better environment for the studio. It's movement, lifestyle. They are interconnected. Secondly, foundations. It is up to your village to help create the bridge. It is not my job to force people to cross that bridge. It is up to me to say, there is a bridge. There is a value on the other side of that bridge. I can just build the bridge, tell you that it's there, and say there is wonderful things on this side. But it is your journey, and it is your responsibility to find what works for you. There is a lot of wonderful goodness at the source. Come find the source. There is a lot here. Here, there is a lot here. So let me be the bridge for any of you out there in whatever world, whether it's K-pop, whether it's choreography, whatever world you're coming. There's a bridge over here. It's a foundation. And let me help.
But
Yeah.
he's right. But he's always open to me, and I told him this morning, he always opened the door for us that is doing foundation to teach at ML. You know, for us it was always where in LA could we teach ML, because they were like arms open to foundation. And our class wasn't as packed as the choreography, but you would hear what the people would say. The sound was louder than the choreography because of the energy that come out. So not to say everybody know how to teach foundation, but the one that knows, and they do the work. But that thing that you talk about, the bridge, giving access, is very important, because if you're not doing it, who's gonna do it? Somebody gonna do it, but maybe years later. But since you're doing it, maybe it's gonna take time. And like you said, you cannot force people. I'm not forcing people to come to my class. They come because they need, and they come because they want, and they're gonna realize, damn, I need foundation. Foundation, without foundation, you can't build a house. Approve someone on earth today, show me a house without foundation. Please show me that person. I want to talk with that guy or that girl. Let's have a conversation. Show me a house without foundation that really stays and that is strong. There's no. The reason why you guys are here, you have foundation. Your first foundation is your parents. Look at your parents, look at the education, look at where you come from. And why you don't put this in your dance? Why, from having this at home, when it comes to the dance, you're like, I want to do my thing, I'm cool like this. Yo, you have foundation at home. Same thing with the dance. Without foundation, there's no strong dance. I challenge whoever your favorite dancer, bring him here, right here, and ask the question, what about foundation? This person either don't know, and then you're going to be, oh shit, yeah, that person don't know, or he's going to tell you the truth. Foundation is the key. Without foundation, there is no strong build at such dance to me. And this is, let's be clear, it's my opinion. It's Kapela's opinion. It's not everybody's opinion. Yeah, don't take it from, he said from the world. He said for his mouth. And that's my own opinion that I'm very strong with it. Yeah? Cool.
I'm trying to feel like if there's something else that I'm missing in that.
5 tips.
5 tips for?
For a studio owner.
Oh. Jeez. Well, I will say, like, as I got deeper into doing this, I know that I don't know. So there's more to know, right? Like, as I go further, it's like, I will always be a student. And even in this, after doing it for how many years, bringing ML back, even more of a student I must become, you know? And it just, yeah, I'll leave that part, right? Like, be a student. If you're trying to facilitate for your village, you have to learn and be a student in facilitating, right? If you want to build a business, then you have to learn about business, right? If you want to, like, it sounds simple, right? But you should know the mechanics of what it takes to build something sustainable. And we can only do that if we get educated. And the more I can become educated, the more I can be better for my village, right? And yeah, I'm trying to think. That was like one, technically, right? Again, my team, building a strong team, right? I would say, what else? Sorry. I like, you know, it's like there's like so much. I'm like, wait a second. Over here, over here. I'll have to come back to you. Let me just stick with those two for now, and then we'll see if it comes up. Yeah, is that okay? I want to be truthful and honest, and if I don't have 5 for you that I feel very confident in, I don't want to give it.
Perfect. Kajetan, come in. Because we want to record your voice.
Okay, I'm not sure how to phrase this question, but I'm gonna give it a go. First of all, I just want to say I've got big respect to both of you guys. So yeah, that's the first. Second of all, I wanted to ask. So obviously, as OGs with a strong foundation, within that you guys also have OGs. I know, right? But as OGs with a strong foundation, within that you guys also have a very unique style and something that makes you obviously, that makes you different from others. How can, like, somebody who's learning what's already there seek what's not there, if you know what I mean? Yeah?
Well, happens to me again. We all start somewhere. Like, again, I'm not born into hip-hop, right? Hip-hop wasn't the music that was played. That wasn't the first music that I heard when I was a kid. It was the music that my mom and dad were playing. And when this dance came, it was just natural. From that naturalness, you're just doing your thing, like with innocence. You're doing also wrong thing. Like, I remember me not being so verbal when I started teach. I was just teaching. Like, my first international workshop, 2007, in Italy, I remember, I speak French with the people. I wasn't so aware of what I'm aware now, but I knew I had something. But I also had good elders, teachers, mentors, that was telling me about story that I wasn't there. So I couldn't say, oh yeah, I was there because my teacher said. I was saying my teacher taught me and they told me too, so now I'm part of this energy of creating my path, my story, by being honest with the people, with what's happening. So they trust that natural energy that I have. You know, when people say, I love to teach, but I'm not from that generation or that era, how can I? Because in my country, there is no such as good club, good DJ, good music, and I'm struggling. But they have that passion. Then I'm like, do it. It's gonna come when it's honest. If your goal is to teach, you're gonna teach. If your goal is to be famous or to get likes or views or whatever, to me, that's the wrong motivation. So, to answer to your question, let the things come natural. If you want to learn, if you want to grow, if you want to share with the people, with your honest heart, things are going to happen the most natural way. Because you're going to see people, like you just say, I have respect. I have respect for you too. Even if you see me as an OG, because I don't see myself as an OG, to be honest. There's people that are OG and they're like older than us, and I'm not an OG. I appreciate what you're saying because I know like I'm older than you probably, but I'm not an OG. And I'm saying this with a lot of humility because there's people that are older and they're still around going crazy strong. So, legend, literally. So I give respect back. I give respect back, and I tell you this. If you feel really with full heart, honesty into this thing that you love, you're going to do what it takes to get there. And you see, things are going to happen the most natural way. It happened to me. I'm not creating a story. I was born in the Bronx. I met LL Cool G, and then I hang out. That's not my story. My stories was home, hang out with friends. The most natural and common story that happened to many guys. And then my path just draw, I guess, because I was striving and I had energy to do what I wanted to do, but with respecting a culture that wasn't mine. Again, I'm a guest in the hip-hop culture, me. I'm not saying I'm hip-hop. I became hip-hop, but I wasn't. I had to learn. I had to learn what it is. I had to travel. I have to ask questions and be accepted by my father of hip-hop. What I call my father is the one that inspired me. All those guys, Poppin' Pete, Mr. Wiggles, Brian Green, Khalif, Marjorie Smart, Voodoo Ray, I can name all of them that I see in person because I know in the world.
Can you name them again so they can?
Okay, Marjorie Smart, Voodoo Ray, Buddha Stretch, Link, Loose Joint, Khalif, Tony. I can say names forever. There's a bunch of names, and these guys, some of them have passed away. Like some of them, like I said, they're not here. One of my teacher, Babson, if you don't know about him, I'm just going to give you a few words. He's my first teacher. God bless his soul. He passed away 4 years ago. He's part of the pioneer of the people that have fought for me to be here, for me to share what I'm sharing now. So imagine, let's say, if it's my destiny that I'm transitioning, you know that I gave you something that people gave me. I'm not saying I'm the starter. I'm one of the passing guy. I'm passing a culture that was given to me. So that's what's going to happen to you if it comes from the heart. So don't worry about, oh, I'm young, I'm learning something that I wasn't there. I was there too. But today I'm here looking at you and telling you, you can do it if you love it.
Cool. I'm actually going to flip the switch for a second. Have you got a question for the dancers that you would like the answer to? I'll give you a second to think on that. But I think it's interesting to see what you've got so many. But if you can find one in that, and then one of you guys will answer that, just go back and forth.
What do you want?
Yeah, what do you want?
When you guys take that type of camp, fair play, or whatever, right? Some of you have been taking these camps. I've seen you. We know each other, right? You guys doing those camps, and they're amazing camps. Don't get me wrong, right? You're taking those classes, multiple classes. When those camps finish, once you go back to your routine, because everybody go to their routine, let's be honest. You go back to your routine. You know your routine. Some of those classes, you forget them. Let's be honest too. Some of those classes, you forget them. It's in the moment. You're enjoying with your friends, and you go back to your routine. You're doing things with your friend, work, whatever. How many of you, and honestly, practice what you guys learn in the camp? What I mean practice, I'm not saying the movement. I'm saying the mental that I've been taught, because there's a lot of words been sharing. From choreographers too, when I'm listening to classes, I'm like, damn, they're dropping crazy knowledge here. Because some of you are focused on the movement, on the routine, but if you listen to the way they talk about the energy, about the transition, about the music, about so many, I'm listening and I'm like, I hope they get it. And that's what I told him. I'm like, I hope they understand. So my question is, once you guys go back after all those camps, all these camps, do you practice? And be honest. Mike is yours.
Does anybody want an input on that or talk about what they... Yeah, cool.
Okay. In terms of like movement and mentality, for me, it's not something that comes like right away after the camp. it like comes in waves. I need to digest it, and it comes like it can come like in a year, in like 2 months, 3 months, maybe 3 years, and I keep coming back to it, and I'm like, even if that was like a long, long time ago, it can like hit me, and I'm like, oh, that's what that meant, and I kind of feel slow at that moment, but like yeah, as Shaun says, always good things take time, and I think when it really hits you, like after some time, it's really like in your body, in your mind, and you kind of live it. You start to live it. Yeah. So it's not like this. It's like takes time.
Plants don't bear fruit at the start, right? I'm gonna repeat that. Like plants or trees, they don't bear fruit at the start. So the camp here is all about like the seeds that you're taking with you, that you're going to plant, and I think that's a prime example of what can happen from a camp like this. Are you going to practice every day? I don't know. Maybe not, but I do think that like the seeds that you took from here and that you plant within you, they end up coming out at a certain time in your life when it's ready.
There's also so many ways to practice, not just doing the movement. There's taking a minute to think and reflect on it, or writing it down, or journaling, or talking, or exchanging with your friends that you've been at the camp with. Like, talk about the classes. Like, allow yourselves to exchange words after class instead of just going, that was dope. It's a lot more than dope. Like, there's so much to discuss. Oh, I liked when they did this. I liked when he explained that. I liked when this dancer did this. That was interesting when they made that choice. Why would they do that? He did it so differently to what I did. These are conversations and questions that you can ask each other, not just the teachers. And that will trigger the information to probably come out quicker, if you will, if you're going to talk to your peers. Because again, you're all here together. We're here together. There's like nearly 700 people at this camp this year. That's 700 brains to exchange and get talking to and see what they think and see if they share the same thoughts or the same craft or the same goals, if you will. Oh, I took this class because I wanted to learn more about their teachings. I like this person's movement, so let me talk to them about that. Like, use each other while you're here, not just support system in the class, clapping and cheering and but use each other in the aftermath and gain that knowledge with each other. Does that make sense? Such a beautiful space that we're in, and such an incredible opportunity we have to learn in this day and age, especially from greats. And I know you both say you're not OGs, but you're such greats to us. Let's stick to that term. You are greats for our community and where dance is today. You've been a true advocates of that. So I think the OG remark is more so just an appreciation towards you, and hearing your response to that, I can respectfully say I understand that now. So I'm going to refer to your generation as just greats because what you do. So for us to be here and learn is so incredible because you didn't have it as easy to these VHSs as we do now. And now that we're here, let's take the fact that now they're DVDs and we can do it so quick and move forward together. Yeah?
I have questions.
Go, yeah.
How many of you here like making choreography? Great. Raise them high. Just like own it, right? How many of you here love to focus on dancing? Just dancing. Like not choreographing at all. Raise them high. Good. How many of you here are wanting to pursue dance as a career, like industry, on stage, for camera, and TV and film? Raise them high. Higher. Thank you. Own your shit. Yeah, okay. How many of you here want to focus on being an educator in the space in the future? You want to focus on the next generation to come. Raise it high. Own it. Great. How many of you in here want to focus on improv, freestyle, battle? Raise your hand high. Great. How many of you here just love dance? Great. Yeah, I think understanding that we all have different wants, different desires, ways to express. There's not one way, and the more we can understand that our paths are just so different from each other, even if we like the same thing, how we want the same thing is important too, right? Do we understand? Yeah? How we want, not just what you do, but how you do it, I think is very key. So, yeah, I think the more we can accept each other's differences, the more we can, I think, move forward as a collective. And yeah, I just wanted us to see each other's differences in this moment. We all want something different for ourselves because our journeys are individual and collective.
And kind of picking up on that, not exercise, but on that, when you go, same thing goes for class. Like when you raise your hands, be more confident in what you do. I don't know if like social media has now made us just kind of feel a bit lazy in our responses as humans, but like, don't be afraid to talk to teachers during class. Our energy gives them energy and therefore has a back and forwards. Class is only as great as the students sometimes. You can't expect the teachers to do everything. So be that student that's going to give energy. If you're tired, imagine 700 tired energies and one person on that stage. That's going to destroy them. But if you are that one advocate to be a bit more positive and be that bit more responsive or be a bit more with your hands, it's going to have a knock-on effect. I think that was a perfect demonstration of like, own your shit, like Shaun was just saying. For classes, we still got 4 or 5 days of classes, 7 classes a day. It's a lot, it's training. It's not easy, it's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing this right now and everyone would be here. But we have made the effort to be here and you've made that choice. So take advantage of it. Again, together. Understood? So own your shit, especially with these boost sessions. These are here to talk. Yes, we're gonna start off a conversation, but don't be afraid to kind of have an input. Take advantage of the fact that we have greats with us.
To me, this goes also with the attitude you're having. People sitting on classes. Like yesterday was the first day I saw people sitting, even in my class. Why would you come to a class to sit, honestly? Just sit outside. This is a full disrespect, to be honest with you. Literally. Why would you pay? It's like, I'm not comparing to sport, but just for the mentality. I'm paying to do football or whatever. And then I'm going to the training. Everybody train, and I'm like this, watching the coach. What do you think the coach is going to think about you? Honestly, then why do I show up? Why do you go to a place to train and sit? Why? I don't understand this concept. I'm not saying anything. I let them, they have their reason to sit, I guess. So I'm not talking to them. But I'm like, why are you here? Sit outside. Because that energy, we see it. Versus the one that want to dance. Obviously, the one that want to dance way more, right? But still, it's the same thing. If you're here, you have that purpose, that motivation, go for it. You paid for this. You want to be here. We didn't force you to be here. I didn't force you to come to me and take my class. If you're here, looking at me, responding to my energy, with full respect, go fully as I go, or then don't go. The one that's sitting, I really don't understand them. There are a lot. Yesterday was the first day in my class, and then I was watching the others. They're here sitting. I'm like, what a disrespect. Honestly, that's disrespect. Then don't show up. Don't go. Stay on your side. Stay outside. Where you're in a space where people want to grow, learn, have that energy together, and you're bringing a lazy energy, or I'm tired or I'm injured. Be outside then. Sit outside. Sit outside and respect the space of the people that have that common force, motivation to go and learn from that person that came all over from different places to teach you guys. Imagine, some people come from far to see people sitting. How disrespectful is this? You don't even know what we've been doing before. I'm on tour, not to tell you my life, but just to tell you a little bit. Currently on tour, being from places, Australia, India, blah, 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 and I'm here, I see people sitting, and I'm like this. And you don't even know, I'm not sleeping for 2 weeks, not sleeping, and I'm going off, and you're like this, and you're 15, 16, 18 years old. I'm about to be 40 years old. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Ask those questions to yourself when you guys sitting down, honestly. Like, it's the inner, like, why am I doing here? I'm here to dance. It's just an hour and 15, 2 hours in my life that I choose to be here. Or I have a question. My hand's like this. Like, earn it. You're here for that thing. Go for it. That's something that irritates me. Every time I'm like, ugh, whatever. I'm not looking at you. Bye.
I think, yeah, come on. I think, no, I think one, context and respect, because what he's bringing to the table is not just information, it's depth of so much that he's bringing to the table with so much passion behind it. And I think he's asking anyone that's in the room to respect the line. You know, you go into his house, you know, you take off your shoes or whatever, right? Like that's what I mean, right? You respect what he's asking of you. So I like just resonate with that in that understanding of like, he gets to set the parameters for his class. You have to, when you come in the mindset of what of his house. Yeah. And yeah.
Before we wrap things up, because classes will be commencing and stuff, have you got anything that you would like to share or add towards the students towards this week at Fair Play 2024? Any words of advice or tip or your thoughts?
I'm happy to see this. This is, to me, it's not just hope, it's proof that you guys wanted to be here. This session is as much important as the class. We need this. Us, you, us, we need this. We need to talk. Like when I see you two, I mean this little new generation that is 12 years old? 12 years old. When I was 12 years old, I wasn't right. I was playing Les Billes, we say in French, whatever. And he's here. So I'm like, yes, my duty here is to make him when he's going to be 22. Yes, I was there. I took the class, I talked with them, and that's what they said, and he helped me. Not just taking the class. This is amazing. I see the notes. I see everything. I'm like, yes, this is where our mission start and continue. So please don't take this boot session as is resting. You're working as much as you are there. Yeah. Here, because dance is not just body. It's maybe 80% is here. I'm not lying. 80% of the work is here. The way you build your mental, the way you get inspired to inspire. I repeat, the way you get inspired to inspire is here. How much you understand, how much wisdom you have to put into the way you want to learn and share with the others. To recognize this, that's why I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I see this because I'm inspired. I'm like, yes, okay, guys, let's keep going. It gives me beautiful energy to go. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's push. Let's focus on how we can evolve, then how we can put it down. It's all about going up. And because we want to go up together, I have to acknowledge this, and I'm grateful for you. Thank you, guys.
I think Kapela said it. I'm gonna leave that as it is. But I do want to add that, I want to add the ecosystem. This is an ecosystem. We are here because you believe in us, because Fair Play believes in us, right? Because we want to do this, and it takes someone to want what we have to share. So we cannot be doing what we do if there is no one to receive. So thank you for showing up, for believing in us, for Fair Play, for asking us to be here. None of this exists it's like a stool. If one of the legs is gone, the thing doesn't exist. Same thing for ML. If one part of us don't believe in each other, it doesn't exist. The stool, the seat is gone. But the teacher, the student, the establishment, we all believe in one another. There is a place to stand. So, yeah, I want to thank y'all for that.
Incredible. Well, thank you both for joining.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you guys for joining us. And thank you for being a part of our first boost session. Go have a beautiful day, and we'll see you all at the next one. Thank you very much. Thank you. Give it up one more time for Kapela and Shaun Evaristo. Incredible.